Matthew Walker, aka JustMatt, and how y'all doing today, man? Hope y'all doing good, staying well, staying healthy, all that great stuff. Man, listen, I thought I was done, but I had to make a reaction vid on this right here, bro. This is made by JxmyHighroller, man. Shout out JxmyHighroller, man. An amazing content creator. I had to see his perspective on this and what he thinks about it, you know what I mean? By the title, you can see it right here, bro. The harsh truth about the GOAT debate. I don't really know what he about to talk about, what he about to say, if it's regarding to LeBron against Jordan, or maybe just the GOAT debate in general, whether it's LeBron, Kobe, Jordan, Wilt, Kareem, Larry Bird, like, you know what I mean? Just overall. So I don't know what direction he about to take, but we finna see right now what he about to talk about, man. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button. This a lot of help to the channel, man. I promise you it does, man. We on the road to 10K. So if you want to, you don't have to, but if you want to subscribe, man, you know what I mean, to join the family, you sure can. But no hard feelings if you don't, man. No hard feelings, man, you know? So let's get straight in the video, man. 3, 2, 1. Let's get it, man.
To get the fresh 14 for the Lakers.
Oh, that's that play. That was that play.
It's never gonna end, is it? LeBron's reign over the NBA. I've just come to the conclusion that LeBron has hacked into the Matrix and has transcended aging. LeBron is in his 19th NBA season and his son.
I ain't gonna cap though. Lakers, daggone Lakers, lost against the Pelt, bro. Up 23 points. LeBron had 39 points. I don't know why. Bro, every time a player, I'm talking about an all-star caliber player, once LeBron recruit him, it's like, bro, dude averaging 1 point a game, 2 points a game. All you gotta do is do the exact same thing you've been doing on this squad. Like there are some players who have to adjust to LeBron's playing style, but there's also players that LeBron pick up that just want to play, like he want them just to do their thing. Just do your thing. And they can't do their thing whenever they play with LeBron, bro. I'm just like, bro, what?
Wow, still one of the best players on the planet. This isn't
I didn't mean to talk that much, my fault.
To happen. 99% of NBA players peak in their mid to late 20s and then slowly regress as they age, eventually becoming a liability to their team and inevitably sailing off into the sunset, washed up and content with their achievements. But not LeBron. The man is fighting his age like he's got a grudge on time itself. And the more he piles up on these mind-bending feats, the more we must ask ourselves the question. And I really hate to do this, but is LeBron the greatest basketball player of all time? And if he isn't, what would he need to do to truly, once and for all, be the GOAT?
I think, and I feel what Jimmy's saying, but I think the double-edged sword about longevity is if you can't accomplish this amount of stuff in this amount of time, then people are already not gonna even discuss it. You know, I feel like people won't discuss it no matter how much LeBron will accomplish what he will accomplish in the future, just because he didn't accomplish the amount of things MJ accomplished in 13 seasons or so. You feel me? So that is the double-edged sword with it. And you know, a lot of people will use hypotheticals, you know, about, you know, from both sides. Michael Jordan fans and LeBron James fans will use hypotheticals about this, that, and the other. You feel me? I just look at it just for what it is, man. And this is not on LeBron. This is not on Larry Bird, Kareem, Wilt, like all the people who be in the GOAT talks. But like, the amount of things Michael Jordan accomplished in the amount of time he played, if I would have had to pick one GOAT, he wouldn't be that GOAT, bro. That's just what it is, you know, being unbiased. I'm a LeBron James fan. I still appreciate the things LeBron's doing. You know what I mean? Still going to enjoy the things LeBron's going to be doing. You feel me? But that's just my opinion. I think MJ's the GOAT. That's just my opinion. You feel me? So I was looking at it for what it is. That's all. But let's see. I still want to hear what he got to say.
About 5 years ago, I uploaded my first basketball-related video onto this channel. The title of that video is LeBron the GOAT. You can still watch this video today, but since it's an absolute dog water of a production, I highly recommend you steer clear of it. To summarize the video, I gave 10 reasons why LeBron would retire.
Shout out to this dude with editing too, man. Great editor.
The
W
GOAT.
editor.
Fast forward 5 years and thousands of hours of watching games, collecting data, and gathering context in this sport that we love. I've since changed my ways and realized that Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. But my original assessment from 5 years ago hasn't completely changed, because I never said LeBron was the GOAT at the time. I just gave 10 reasons why LeBron would retire as the GOAT. But ever since I dropped that video, I've pretty much avoided the GOAT conversation altogether.
Word.
I've put a spin on the idea of the greatest players in certain aspects of the game. I've talked about the greatest scorers, I've ranked players using purely numbers, but I've never really broken down who the greatest player is, in my opinion, because I just feel like the topic is a bit redundant. And ESPN already gives you a daily update on the GOAT debate anyways, so no need for me to do it. But
and I don't even debate like on no regular type stuff, because people get toxic. It's not even fun to debate, man. People get in their feelings and they start going crazy, bro. Regardless of who's arguing what, whether you're a Bird fan, LeBron James fan, Michael Jordan fan, we can't even talk on some like chill stuff. You feel me? On some chill vibes type stuff.
I think it's time we actually discuss this, because what
There's some
doing,
few people that be like real open-minded and just be cool, man. You know, and I mess with those type of people. I like to talk with those type of people, man.
At this point in his career is just absurd. At the moment, there are pretty much 3 different camps.
I ain't gonna lose my head
GOAT
over this,
debate.
man. I'm not.
People who think Michael Jordan is the GOAT, people who think LeBron is the GOAT, and people who are wrong. I'm just joking, of course, but not really. I'd say about 75% of people fall into the MJ's the GOAT category, about 20% of people fall into the LeBron's the GOAT category, and about 5% fall into the other category. Usually these other fans believe the GOAT is Wilt or Kobe or Kareem. There's not many of them, but boy, will they die on that hill. See, the thing here is that a lot of the fans in MJ's corner believe that he is and will forever be the GOAT. But realistically, is there anything LeBron can do to surpass him? I mean, there's gotta be some sort of objective metric we can use to distinguish the greatest player of all time. No opinions, no bias, just the facts.
I bet.
If LeBron somehow won 4 more championships and retired, bias, just the facts. If LeBron somehow won 4 more championships and retired with 8 rings, he'd undoubtedly somehow won 4 more championships and retired with 8 rings, he'd undoubtedly be the GOAT, right? So there are paths for him to become the greatest ever. But where does that threshold lie, and what would LeBron have to achieve to get there?
Yeah.
First, let's just take a look at the basic numbers. Between Michael and LeBron, LeBron has more career points, rebounds, assists, blocks, more triple doubles, higher field goal percentage, and a higher 3-point percentage. And Michael has more steals and a higher free throw percentage. LeBron has more career points, rebounds, assists, blocks, more triple doubles, higher field goal percentage, and a higher 3-point percentage. And Michael has more steals and a higher free throw percentage. But this whole argument, the career totals argument, is only useful in demonstrating LeBron's longevity and sustained excellence. These numbers don't prove that LeBron's a better scorer, or rebounder, or defender, or shooter than Jordan. They just prove that LeBron's been good at these things for a very long time. These numbers also show just how versatile LeBron is, possibly his most valuable asset. So instead of looking at career totals, let's look at career averages. Michael averages more points and more steals, and LeBron averages more assists and more rebounds. And as much as it pains me to say this, this is usually where the argument for the GOAT ends for most people. Throw in a required comment about their finals records and you pretty much have a condensed version of most GOAT debates. But there is so much more to unpack here. So let's unpack it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
So y'all know how much I like advanced stats.
I was gonna rap.
They don't tell the full story, but if you know which ones to look for, you can discover some nuances in a player's game that you won't get by just watching them play. Player efficiency rating, win shares per 48, offensive box plus minus, defensive box plus minus, value over replacement, and true shooting percentage. These 6 advanced stats give us efficiency, production, value, impact, and pretty much everything in between. And in these 6 advanced statistics, Michael Jordan exceeds LeBron in 5 of them. He's more efficient overall. He contributes to more wins. He contributes to more points. He's better on defense, and he is generally more valuable on the court than LeBron is. The only advanced stat where LeBron tops Jordan is true shooting percentage. Now, in terms of who's a better basketball player, nearly every metric points to Michael Jordan. But really take a look at these numbers, and it's actually uncanny just how close LeBron is to MJ across the board. Just a fraction behind Jordan in pretty much everything.
Word.
But these numbers aren't even addressing who's greater, because that conversation would involve accolades and accomplishments and impact on the game. Take away the rings, the influence, the intangibles, the opinions, and it's virtually objectively true that Michael was a better basketball player than LeBron. But the GOAT debate isn't necessarily about who is the better player. It's about who is the greatest player. We've got some more unpacking to do.
Word.
Now, we cannot have a thorough GOAT debate without discussing the accomplishments of each player. Numbers are cool and they have their purpose, but numbers alone aren't indicative of greatness. They're just a vehicle to greatness. This is why, despite James Harden spending half a decade piling up some of the greatest scoring numbers in NBA history, most people don't consider him greater than some players with far lesser offensive numbers. The numbers complement the—
I'm a James Harden fan, bro. Shout out James Harden, man. I want to see him win a chip in Philly, bro. No cap, with Joel Embiid, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They gonna find the chemistry's gonna be like, okay, Matt. Wow. Speak English, please. The chemistry's gonna be right. You know what I mean? Tyrese Maxey doing his thing, man. You feel me? I've been a James Harden fan since about 2016, bro. You feel me? So yeah.
accolades, not the other way around.
That's true, man. A lot of people don't rank James Harden as one of the best scorers of all time, bro. I personally do, but yeah.
This is also why I consider Wilt Chamberlain to have been a better basketball player than Bill Russell, but Bill Russell was greater than Wilt. Wilt achieved his greatness through his numbers, whereas Russell achieved his greatness by contributing to an unrelenting style of winning basketball. So let's take a look at the accomplishments of both Michael Jordan and LeBron James.
Okay.
Now, there are plenty of other awards a player can earn in the NBA, but these are the ones that really stand out on a player's resume. Championships, Finals MVPs, regular season MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year, All NBA selections, and All Defensive Team selections. And amongst these 6 categories, Jordan beats LeBron in 5 of them. And Michael accomplished all of this in just 15 seasons to LeBron's full 18 seasons. The only category where LeBron outperformed Michael is in all NBA selections. And most will argue that, again, this is an accomplishment of longevity more than anything else, which at this point seems to be the overall theme in the GOAT debate. Up to this point in his career, the majority of fans will agree that LeBron has been a step below Jordan in terms of greatness. So now the race to become the GOAT has become a marathon. Because eventually, the sheer volume of LeBron's career numbers and achievements may become so overwhelming that we'll have no choice but to concede that he is, in fact, the greatest player of all time. Which brings us to a real dilemma. The flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long. A great quote by the ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu regarding the idea of excellence and the sustainability of it. Almost as if you can have longevity or be exceptional, but you can't have both. Now, in the world of basketball and sports in general, usually being exceptional translates to longevity and vice versa.
That man spiked that joint, boy.
Usually being exceptional translates to longevity and vice versa. Michael Jordan was excellent for 13 seasons in the NBA.
That's
His
facts.
flame was violently bright, and it burned for quite some time. But what if there was a flame that burned about 95% as bright and lasted much, much longer? At a certain point, the radiance of even the brightest flame is outclassed by the flame that just won't quit. Of course, LeBron isn't a flame. He's a 6'9", 250-pound freak of nature in basketball shoes.
Freight train,
but his
bro.
light shines about 95% as bright as Michael Jordan's did, and it's lasting a whole lot longer. when does the longevity of LeBron's brilliance simply outmatch the slightly greater but much shorter brilliance of Michael? Because as we've discussed, Mike trumps LeBron in pretty much every single metric other than longevity and overall production. So the real question here is, how much longer will LeBron have to be excellent before the majority agrees that he is greater than Michael was? The man is in his 19th NBA season, and he's leading the NBA in scoring. He's still a top 5 player in the league, and his bag is getting deeper and deeper with every season.
I would love to be 37 years old doing this. I don't care what people got to say about me. I'm feeling amazing. What? 37?
Here's a chart of LeBron's total points, assists, and rebound averages throughout each season of his career. Each point on the graph represents the total average of points, assists, and rebounds for every season of his career. So, for example, this season LeBron is putting up 8, 6, and 30 a game, so his total for the season is 44. Now, in the NBA, anything above a total of 40 is exceptional. LeBron's total production has exceeded 40 in 17 different seasons. Now here's Michael's total average points, assists, and rebounds for every season of his career. This average points,
my bad, my headphones were chopping up, so I'm not sure if y'all caught that or not. Hopefully
and
not.
Rebounds for every season of his career. This is by far the greatest argument in favor of LeBron in the GOAT debate. The man has simply sustained excellence for longer than Mike did. And although the numbers are just a vehicle to greatness, there has got to be a point where the numbers are just too glaring to ignore. LeBron's numbers are getting to that point. But some fans will argue that there were other players that were still really good this late in their career. You mean like Kareem, or Kobe, or Karl Malone? They weren't even close. LeBron's already the only player to be a part of the 30K, 10K, 10K club. Aside from a freak injury, he'll undoubtedly break Kareem's scoring record. He'll probably play the most seasons in an NBA career. He already has the record for most All-NBA selections, and he's still adding to...
You already know he's sticking around the league until his son in the league. So that's, you know what I mean? You're not retiring no time soon.
But it's probably the longest career highlight reel with moments like this.
And
LeBron is still...
You think that's a dope deal. He said, oh, whatever team gets his son also gets me. You feel me? So he going to trade to that, bruh. That's a dub. If I'm that team, I'm happy as a mug, boy. What? I get LeBron's son and LeBron? I don't care. I get 40-year-old LeBron. I'll take that, bro. You feel me? That's like getting 40-year-old Michael and his son. I'll take it, bro. Absolutely. Like Stephen Curry and his son. Absolutely, bro. Yes.
Still doing this in a couple years while still putting up all NBA numbers. I really think it's going to be difficult to say that he's not the greatest player ever.
That's a good point.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it. While LeBron's legacy is growing as he plays more seasons, Michael's legacy would have been slightly diminished if he played more seasons. Of course, this isn't a matter of fact, but all the evidence points towards this assumption. Michael Jordan retiring after...
I do see what you're saying. If Michael played... He had 15 year career. 13 with the Bulls, 2 with the Wizards. If he played 4 more, we don't know how his performance would have been. But then if he played 4 more years, he would have retired at what, 40, 44? What player played to 44 years old in the NBA? You know what I mean? So I think that's another hypothetical, man. I feel like if Jordan were to play as many seasons as LeBron played to the age of 37, then Jordan would have to not retire those 2 times he retired. You feel me? If he never retired in those 2 seasons, then we could talk about all that type of stuff, man. Again, that's all hypotheticals, bro. Cause a lot of people gonna say if he never retired, he would have 8 rings instead of 6, or whatever the case may be. Nobody knows that, bro. Nobody knows that, bro. He was retired because he was done with basketball. He was drained. He wasn't as hungry, and then he came out at retirement, got hungry again. You feel me? So I don't know if he never retired the first time, if he will be hungry to get another ring the next year. and that would have hurt his career or not. I don't know none of that. That's all hypotheticals, man. That's all stuff we like to imagine, but it's like it didn't happen, so it's like I wouldn't even pay mind to it unless you want to talk about it for fun. We talk about it for fun. We could talk about it for fun. You feel me? But like on some serious stuff, I mean, it is what it is, bro. But I see what Jimmy's saying. That's why at the end of the day, I just say who the GOAT of each era. I feel that's the fairest, in my opinion, the fairest way to go about it. You feel me? Obviously, if we pick one, then but yeah, yeah.
Playing just 13 NBA seasons in 1998 was the best thing he could have ever done for his legacy. The Bulls were not going to win another championship, and the backbone of the dynasty he had built had all but vanished by the beginning of the 1999 season. If he had played through that 3-year retirement gap from 1999 to 2001, he would have either stayed with the Bulls and put up huge numbers on a losing team, or signed with a different team and chased rings. Both options.
And I'm not even sure if he continued playing on the Bulls with Dennis, Scottie, and Phil Jackson still signed there, if they would lose. Again, I don't know. You feel me? I know Michael and all them, they definitely, you want to keep going till you lose. You feel me? You're as a competitor, but with their contract, and they was on there, which was kind of weird. That was just like dumb to me. Like, why tell Phil Jackson that no matter whether or not you win a championship, this is your last year? I think that's the number one reason why you should keep somebody. It's because they won a championship. So yeah, I can't even say Mike wouldn't have more than 6 rings if he didn't retire after the 98 season and kept playing with the Bulls with Scottie, Dennis, and Phil. I can't say that. But I also can't say if he would have more than 6 rings. So I don't know.
Being far less illustrious than him going out on top with the team that drafted him. Michael's career was the perfect storm. He was drafted by a franchise that was ready and willing to build around him. He was on a roster that suited his skill sets extremely well, and he and the Bulls peaked right as the dominant team.
That's true. He was definitely on a roster that suited him perfectly well. Like I think the Bulls, that Bulls squad was like the perfect team for MJ. But why can't no, it ain't the perfect team. Because if it was the perfect team, then Mike wouldn't have to drag and pull these players to gain championships. They would have been as competitively driven as MJ was. You feel me? The passion, the fire. So he still had to pull and tug when players didn't want to be pulled and tug as a leader. You feel me? So I don't think, obviously, it's not perfect at all. But as far as like the roles played, it definitely complemented Jordan a whole lot, for sure.
Teams from the 80s and early 90s like the Lakers, Celtics, and Pistons began to fade away. You could not have written a extremely well, and he and the Bulls peaked right as the dominant teams from the 80s and early 90s like the Lakers, Celtics, and Pistons began to fade away. You could not have written a better career if you tried. On the other hand, despite his success, LeBron really got the short end of the deal many times throughout his career. He spent his first 7 seasons in the NBA playing for a team that could not have cared less about building a coherent team around him. He spent 4 straight finals going toe-to-toe with the most dominant dynasty in modern NBA history outside of Jordan's Bulls. While Michael was surrounded by players
but I feel like here's the thing right here, man. And this is me being unbiased, bro. But I also feel like, bro, LeBron had his chance when he went to Miami. You feel me? He had D-Wade, he had Chris Bosh. You have a great Miami coach. You got great role players too. You feel me? So it was LeBron's decision, which I respect to this day. LeBron's decision to go back to the Cavs, that was his decision. You feel me? I respect that for sure. Because now a lot of people will go back to a situation they left. You feel me? I can't say that LeBron always had the short end of the stick, because when he got with Miami, bro, he definitely had his chance to stay there as long as he wanted to and win as much as they could if he stayed longer. So I think that was his chance, though. So yeah, that's what I got to say about that. He had his chance, but now for sure, he definitely went against legends in the finals, bro.
Team around him. He spent 4 straight finals going toe-to-toe with the most dominant dynasty in modern NBA history outside of Jordan's Bulls. While Michael
Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Kevin Durant, bro. If Kevin Durant never went to the Warriors, bro, again, it's another hypothetical. And that's why I can say we could always be talking about hypotheticals, man. Cause it could go either way, back and forth all this time, bro. I could say if Kevin Durant never played at the Warriors, then the Cavs would probably beat the Warriors in 2017 and 2018. Matter of fact, we don't even know because the Houston Rockets, James Harden and Chris Paul, almost beat the Warriors in 2018 and could have gone to the finals against the Cavs, bro. So if KD not there, they probably would. Like the whole storyline changes. You feel me? And that could have got LeBron 2 rings right there, right? He would have 5, and then he probably would have never left to go to the Lakers. Cause I feel like he went to the Lakers on a forced situation. Like he's not ever going to win again with the Cavs, especially after the JR moment. You feel me? And shout out JR Smith, but George Hill missing his free throw. Like it was kind of like. He got keep on carrying, you know. Hate to say it, but it's just what it was. He did, bro. 2018 playoffs, he did his thing, bro. Every game won because of this man, LeBron. So the whole storyline changes, bro. And he probably never will go to the Lakers. But again, that's a hypothetical, bro. So I don't even know whether or not if Kevin Durant joined the Warriors, LeBron would have more rings than he has now. I don't know that. So I'm not gonna really like feed into that type stuff. You feel me? Again, you want to talk about it for fun, we can talk about it for fun. But in all seriousness, it's kind of pointless to me.
By players who were all willing to buy into their system, LeBron has spent many years carrying the load of bad rosters and seemingly incompetent teammates. Part of which is his own fault for trying to play GM and putting together piss-poor rosters.
Yeah.
And I bring up these small nuances because the GOAT debate is very nuanced. As much as people want to act like the whole 6-0 in the finals is the end-all be-all to the discussion, it's just not. If rings were all that mattered, then Bill Russell would be the GOAT. Oh, but he played a long time ago. That doesn't count. Okay, well then Robert Horry is the GOAT because he has 7 rings to Jordan's 6. Well, yeah, but Horry wasn't the best player on any of those championships. Okay, so is the argument about rings, or is it about being the best player on the court, or a mixture of...
Everybody have their own perspective on what's exceptional and what isn't. And listen, you think LeBron James the GOAT? I have no problem with that. You think Larry Bird's the GOAT? I have no problem with that. Kobe Bryant's the GOAT? I have no problem with that, because these are all generational greats, bro. Generational greats, bro. That's why I do hate the comparison thing, because it downplays other people's accomplishments, man. You know what I mean? Bill Russell having 11 rings is insane. But when you compare that to someone like Michael Jordan, all of a sudden, oh nah, what Bill did really wasn't that great because it wasn't this time. Bro, that's not great in any time. I don't care, bro. If I get 11 rings, bro, what? And people just don't. I feel like people forget these factors, man. Every era has a certain factor of a player that plays in. Bill Russell, bro, the era he played in, there was still racism going on, bro. Segregation, all that type of stuff, man. Civil rights movement, man. You know what I mean? You think he was able to walk in hotels, restaurants, bathrooms? Like, I'm pretty sure there was so many moments where people tried to get this man not to play basketball, bro. But he continued to play, and he continued to win, and he was at the top, and he kept winning. 11 of them. That's hard to do, bro. You need freaking mental strength for that, bro. You know what I mean? You need a heart, interior strength to get through that, bro. There's so many factors in each era, bro. Everyone got their own factor.
Both is a player's performance, despite how masterful it was, all in vain if his team loses. The line becomes less and less clear the deeper you dig. No single metric can be used to determine this debate. And the unpacking of every small minute detail is a necessary burden. But unfortunately, it's a burden that most fans won't bother to take on.
That's true.
At the moment, I personally believe Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. I also think he's the best. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time.
Hold up. My fault.
At the moment, I personally believe Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time.
Word.
I also think he's the best basketball player of all time. But, unlike some fans, I don't think the door has closed on LeBron. I think that if LeBron can continue to dominate the league for a few more seasons and continue to shatter our previous notions of what we thought was possible in a single NBA career, I think that he has and it's virtually
we good.
objective
Oh. What the heck? Bro.
data and gathering context
just
in
happened?
this sport that we love. I've since changed my ways and realized take on.
Okay.
Continue to dominate the league for a few more seasons and continue to shatter our previous notions of what we thought was possible in a single NBA career. I think that he has a chance to retire as the greatest player of all time. But of course, only time will tell. And fortunately for LeBron, time seems to perpetually be on his side.
That's facts. That is facts, man. Everybody got their own cards to deal with, man. Their own cards dealt with, man. You know? Shout out JxmyHighroller for this, man. You know, respect to this video, man. Really well made video. Very well made video. I personally think that Michael Jordan's the greatest too, and I also think he's the best basketball player of all time as well. I just hate this whole downplaying thing, man. This whole, when it comes to comparisons, someone got to downplay somebody, bro. Instead of like saying like this dude's the greatest, but let's not get it twisted. This dude also, like, bro, he's a phenomenal player too, man. Some people just gotta be like that. He's the greatest. This man's a joke. How can you be a joke and you're compared to the greatest? I don't get it. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that, man. Hope y'all enjoy that there. Again, shout out to JxmyHighroller. Well made video, man. Great editing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Great editing, bro. Especially even the other channels, man. Thinking Basketball by Ben Taylor. Clayton Crawley. Hope I said that right. You know, he a great editor. Man, shout out to these people who make this type of content for real, bro. Real talk, bro. Yeah, shout out MJ, shout out LeBron. This is my last GOAT debate video. I just really wanted to, you know, catch my reaction on what JxmyHighroller wanted to say about it, man, because Jimmy's points are valid, man. Hope y'all enjoyed, you know what I mean? If you did, please hit the like button down below. There's a lot of help to the channel, man. It really does. We're on the road to 10K. 10K, man. We're going to keep grinding, keep doing our thing. And, yeah. I hope y'all stay well. Stay happy, stay blessed. Love us very much, man. Peace. I'm out. Woo!